Well, Vijay Eswaran, you're executive chairman of the QI Group, and it was founded from almost nothing in 1998. What have you created?
Well, we started as an e-commerce company. Then from there, we grew. In part, we realized that we had to send the products that were purchased to the various buyers. So the courier company was next. So we went from building an e-commerce company and then added on a courier company. And then we went into backward integration in many cases, and we acquired a watchmaking company because many of our products were basically within the region of jewelry, watches, and so on. And from there, we grew into travel. Travel was a very important extension of the business, and we built a very strong travel base. And from there, we realized at one point that we were acquiring so many hotel rooms that we needed to get hotels. So today we have close to 2 dozen hotels scattered across the Indian Ocean area and Southeast Asia. So, and they form part of a growing chain. The next development was the university. We built Quest International University, which today has about 1,800 students. It led us automatically towards the development of the next industry, which was actually development and construction. QI City is being built today on a 30-acre lot, just 2.5 hours from Kuala Lumpur. It's a mixed development, which has a full hospital, condominiums, mall, all of this. And so we have grown from just being an e-commerce company into all of these various facets over the years. And in addition to which, we have 42 offices in 30 countries across the world. We are present in over 120 countries via e-commerce. So that's us in a nutshell.
It's moving so fast in ways which probably even you weren't imagining a few years ago. But what are the big challenges?
You basically were thinking of survival. It was just a question of getting through the day, as it were.
Financial survival.
Exactly. It was a tough business, and it was an arduous journey.
And what were you doing then? What were you selling?
Well, we started off with a dream, a vision that we believed in, that, you see, uniquely enough, the internet bubble burst around that period, 97, 98. And people were actually fleeing the industry, particularly in Hong Kong, where we started. So it was a good time for us to actually recruit our technical staff, and we basically started at that point.
Did you have a clarity of how that would be achievable?
In terms of the broad strokes, yes. But as we found out as we went along, there were potholes and pitfalls at every turn. So as we started becoming a global business, different challenges appeared in different jurisdictions.
What are the big challenges you're now facing?
The major challenges seem to be, we are in over 100 countries, and yet in a small handful of countries, less than 5 exactly, we have to deal with many of the challenges of the lack of regulation. Regulation, or the lack thereof, is our biggest problem. In the regulated markets, we thrive. In the markets that have little or no regulation, we are viewed with suspicion, we are viewed with cynicism. We are bringing in the forefront of change. We are bringing in the forefront of what the world is going to be like in the next decade, the next millennium. And this is not something that the regulators or the governments or the bureaucracy want to see. They are the slowest to change, and they're more resistant to change. So we are engaging them, in great part educating them, working with them. And it's a challenge that the entire industry faces, not just us alone. And it's one that we intend to cope with, deal, and prevail.
What is it that made it work for you?
Well, I don't think it was a singular effort. Clearly, there was a driving force in me and within me that was pertinent to the whole journey, but it was a team effort. There was always a team with me, and a team that started with me, a team that I built and enforced and kept going. And that's the team that brought us to today.
Were you always able to pay the bills?
Not really. The first few years were hard, extremely hard, if I may be honest. As a matter of fact, there were many a time we had to turn back to our own staff and ask of them something that I feel even today very guilty about, which is that we could not pay the salaries. So if they could bear ahead for another month with us. And And quite honestly, it is the sacrifices of those early days of those staff that made us possible today.
Vijay Eswaran, thank you.